Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Appreciating Comic Book Art video. Now, this took me a little bit to get the lighting in here correct because I've been doing a lot of digital reviews or whatever lately, but I couldn't find this online, and I really wanted to go over this particular book. This was a recommend to me by Shelby Robertson, so shout out to him for directing me towards this book. He knows that I'm a really big fan of like line work only books or penciled versions. Case in point, I've got a lot of the DC Unwrapped books, and I just love pencils in the rawest form, much like inks, and just I love seeing it without the color and just specifically the pencils because I like seeing how an artist draws, before it's finished because there's a lot of looseness in comic book penciling. The nice tight finishes we see come from the inks most of the time, so it's fun to see just the rawness, the energy. So this is the Darkness Raw edition. I'm pretty sure this is the Darkness Empire. I can't remember exactly what issues it crosses. There's a 3-part story. Let me get this out here. All right. 3-part story with pencils by Michael Broussard. Pretty sure I'm pronouncing that right. But I just want to jump into this because I've been looking at this a lot lately, and I've been just extremely impressed. I love stuff like this. Maybe I'll do a follow-up video to this, and we'll look at the actual issue in color, just to kind of see how it's all put together. Now, well, I wonder. Let me see something real quick. Sorry, I know this is a recorded video, but I'm going to try to do something and just see if this works. Let's see. That might work. Yeah, let's try this out. We'll see if this works. I don't want to lose too much. All right, how about that? So we got page 1 of this. And there we go. Let's break this down into 1 page. All right, cool. It does work. Not as big as I'd like it to be, but you can kind of get the sense here. I love what the inker has done, bringing this page together. You can just see the difference between the inks. Yeah, obviously you have a black panel that's very easy for an artist. Every time you get that, you're like, hell yeah, that's my favorite panel on the page. Get this cool explosion, and you can kind of see how the inker has brought it together. And, obviously the colors too. And all right. This is an experiment for me, so we'll see how you guys like this. But yeah, so I mean that's just really cool. And then we got this double 2-page spread here. I'm gonna not do this for the entire thing, but I just want to give you guys a sense, give you a feel of there we go. Of finish to all right, you see that there. So we got this just beautiful work. Again, like I said, I love penciled versions of books. I think not too long ago, maybe it was last year, it's been a while now, I guess, we did the Joe Mad, I think Ultimates 3 #1, and it was just all penciled version. And his was much tighter. This is a little loose. You can see here, and I'll bring up the other one here in a second. You can see here, like with the line work here, it's just kind of indicated where the cross hatching is going to be. So let's see where. See if we can look at. I'm pretty sure this is Joe Weems who inks this. We can kind of just get a sense of like detail like this from that how it's kind of brought out. And he was really true to it. So as loose as that might be, he still brought that out pretty well. But I just love seeing how pencils finish or go into the finished work, and I love analyzing the pages and seeing how it's all brought together, specifically with colors too. And this page obviously really pops with the colors, because you can see how just, these panels bleed right into each other as you tell them like this montage of a story. But it's just perfectly brought together by the colors and the inks. Just beautiful work. I love it. Hope you guys dig this as much as I do, because this is the kind of stuff that I really like. So again, I love just the detail here. Now this is something I want to kind of bring up here, because the detail in these pages, you get a scene like this, you got to draw, this structure on a mountainside, you got a city in the background, and then you've got like a tropical climate. Even panels like this, where you're indicating stuff, right? As an artist, you're indicating what you want it to look like, and you got to keep in mind what the colors might look like and what the inks are going to look like when you're drawing something like that, to see how loose you can go and how tight you can go. So you take that and you look at it's below up here on this page. Let's take a look, see how he did it. So again, yeah. So the inker and the colorist can help out a lot. So you see this. Crap. Lost it. All right. Do that one more time. We can see up in the top panel how they really brought the clouds out. And that might not have really been indicated except for probably a script. But for you and me, it could have just looked like lines. You can see how, you might not have known that these were clouds until the inks and the colors came in and really just brought that out. It's just fascinating. I love it. I really do. I love the breakdowns of this. I'm glad this worked out, because I was afraid this was not going to go the way I wanted it to go. So like I said, we're not going to do that with the whole book. I just wanted to bring up some specific things. This particular splash right here, just a really well-drawn page. Let me see if I can find it here in the colored version real quick. There we go. So we go from that. You can just see how, it's loose, but it's tight, if that makes sense. There's parts of like the structure, the outline of the character is very tight. There's a lot of indicated stuff. There's some areas of tight cross hatching into shadow, and then there's other areas that's just kind of loose, and a lot of that is if you work with a really good inker, specifically if you're working with Joe Weems, which I think is the one that inked this book. I'll have to look at. I'm pretty sure, because it doesn't say here in the credits. It's just because this is a penciled version. I know Weems did the cover, so it leads me to believe he did the entire book. Just like stuff like this. It's a loose tight, if that makes sense, and it comes together. It comes together very nicely. You look at that, and then you look at this, and you can just see how everything was really brought together. And the great thing about an inker like Weems is he will keep what you have done, but then he'll add little things to it just to make it better. Now we could look specifically, let's look at panel 2 here. And you can see these are supposed to be like speed lines. We're indicating movement, action coming at us. And we can see it's much more defined when Weems puts the inks on there, as you can see. It's just stuff like that. That's a small example that I could show you, but another great shot. And just, again, Michael Broussard, I didn't get into him right off the bat. There was a period of time where I wasn't collecting comic books all that much, and I was in and out of the scene. So there were new artists that were coming on that I might not have actually had a chance to dive into their work. And I wish I had, because I really enjoy his style. And it's got kind of a cross, it's a little bit Silvestri. It's got a little bit of a Benitez in there. And, you know, uh, it's a Top Cow book, so there is a chance that there were backup artists in this book that helped bring stuff out. And it might not just been Broussard. I mean, there's always a chance for that. Top Cow is pretty notorious for having assistants on their books. So there could be a chance that it might not be all him, but I'm just going to go off the premise that it is him. And I'm very, very impressed diving into these pencils because I've never seen him before. So again, giant shout out to Shelby Robertson for turning me on to this book. And here we go. 10 minutes into this video, and I haven't even said this yet. My name is Joe Sontag, or Joe M. Sontag, from the Otten Stuff channel. And this is my personal channel. If you like this content, you like what I produce here, please subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell for notification, share it with your friends and family. Help me grow this channel, and also help me grow the Otten Stuff channel at the same time. So we're going to jump here. I want to find this page, because when I was looking at these books, these pages earlier, I thought it was really interesting. And maybe this is something that doesn't interest anybody else, but I love how, there's amount of detail in here, but also there's not a lot of shading. So this was something that's going to be left up to the colorist a lot to bring out. And it's a transformation scene. His mask is coming off of Jackie's face as he's, going from the darkness to Jackie. And the way they did it, you can really see how the colors, and the inks too, but the colors just really brought this together and really allowed it to pop. And just, you have that feel of it melting off of his face. And you can see areas like the small amount of detail. There are indications of all these lines on Jackie's mask, all this, like metallic, jaggedy lines as it's coming off, but you don't really notice that in the original pencils. You can see, slightly, but it's just kind of like indicated there. But that's something that the inker really brings out. He puts a little bit of his own flair to it, maybe adds a couple little lines here, and really brings it out. And then the colorist just brings this entire page together, where you are really relying on the colorist to do something like that, because this is just, it's very indicated. So again, it's probably something that's in the script, or there were notes that were sent to the colorist to actually bring that out. But it's just so well done. It's one of those things like I geek out at, and I geek over art, especially like raw pencils, raw inks. I recommend everybody go out and get this book. It's so well done. The storytelling is really crisp. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Dale Keown too, a little bit. And I know he's in this book because it covers some of the backup story or the flashback scene that Dale does. So it kind of reminds me a little bit of that. Like it's clean while being loose, but still got a sense of like that Silvestri feel. So this was a perfect. Besides Benitez, who I really like Benitez on The Darkness. But I like this style a little bit more, because if you're a big fan of Silvestri and he's coming off The Darkness and you kind of want that same feel, you're going to want to have an artist that has a similar tone in style. Because sometimes that just wrecks it. It really does. Your favorite artist or an artist you like in a book comes off of it, and the guy that's jumping on maybe has a completely different style. It can almost take you out of the story. At least it does for me. When because I'm more of an art guy than anything. The story is one thing, but if the art kind of changes too much, that's just why my favorite artist. If he leaves a book and the guy coming in, guy or gal coming in behind him, doesn't have that same kind of quality or style or flair, I'm probably going to leave the book. It's just kind of the way it is. On a page like this, I love it because you see so many silhouettes in comics, and you see how how crisp, how they look when it's finished. But you can actually see like all these X's for people that aren't artists out there, and those that are, exactly what I'm talking about here. But this is basically when the penciler doesn't want to take the time to shade this all in. Maybe he'll indicate, maybe they do light shading where this is supposed to be all dark, but instead of all that, he'll just throw X's. And usually 3X's in a row means completely blacked out, but you're not taking any chance with this. So he's just got X, 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 X all over the place. But in like a panel up here, he's throwing in the shading much more dark. There's really no need for X's. I mean, you could still throw it in if you want him, but he's, that's really indicated that that's going to be heavily dark, heavily shadowed. But this is like, I'm doing a page. I got to save some time. I'm not going to take all the time to shade this in just so that black can go over it. The inks can go over it. So that's a really cool technique. Saves a lot of time to it. Same thing as the panel up here. It's a smaller bit, so you can see it doesn't mind shading that much in for the silhouettes there. So let's take a look at this page, how it came out. And you can see Weems really took the chance up here to break this up so it wasn't just black. He broke up the lines so that there's a little bit of light coming through and hitting the roof, hitting the ceiling. Again, this comes out, the colors and the inks, it's just, the depth is beautiful. I love silhouettes. You've seen some of my other videos I've done when, if you know how to do it right, it works. And you can do silhouettes in any time. You can do it at night, you can do it during the day. It doesn't really matter. It's a way to kind of show depth and to just make something pop. So this came out beautifully. It looks great. I mean, just the way that Broussard drew this, you can really see the form. And it's not like just thin lines, thin wavy lines. It's really got form. You can see the clothes, the creases of the clothes, and the pants, and the gun on her hip. All that just real well done. A little bit of highlight there in the hair, a little bit of highlight here on the arm. Yeah, so well done. So let's take a look real quick. Let's jump back here, and you can see kind of how he shaded that, led it to be like, open for interpretation. And I do that sometimes. I work with Joe Weems right now on my book Reaper Destroyer, which by the way, quick plug, Reaper Destroyer coming out later this year. Colors by Brian Valenza, inked by Joe Weems. I'm going to be crowdfunding later on this year, maybe in July, hopefully September, maybe a little bit later than that. Just depends on how well pages are coming in from all of us all around. Back to the story, though. When you just indicate things that are like this, or things of this nature, this is very loosely done. And it gives the inker a chance to kind of go in and put their own flair in how they're going to bring that out. And I do that with Weems as well. I'll leave some stuff open to interpretation because he's so good at doing background stuff like this. And, just deciding I'm going to break this up instead of being solid black. And I'm going to throw all these, crazy lines that's really going to add to the energy of the book. The inkers are great. I love inkers. They highly respect inkers all around. Let's take a look at this face here. I'm always very amount of detail that goes into faces. Very well penciled. The lines are very indicated. Got the stubble, which is hard as hell to draw. I don't care who you are. To draw stubble and then not make it seem like it's rendering or shadow lines is really hard. So let's see how Weems. Let's see how he takes care of this picture. I don't know if you can hear my dog upstairs, but she is not happy that I'm down here. I'm going to have to go up there here in a second. This video's already running a little bit longer than I thought it was going to run, which is never a good thing for views. So I apologize for that. But yeah, this face it's not actually as rendered as I thought it might be. It's a little bit more just kind of straightforward. Not a lot more added to it. The colors kind of really pop and bring it out. So in my mind, I thought maybe they would have done a little bit more into it. But again, and this is, I don't think I need to go download the rest of the books. Yeah, here, let me do this real quick. Because I really want to look at this page. Okay. So a page like this, it seems so simple. You really have to have a vision of what you want to accomplish. And I know a lot there's in the script, but you're building the page. You're building, your eye perfectly flows through this page as it gets bigger and bigger to the last panel. It's all consuming, and the script is going to do a great job in bringing everything through as well. But when you see this page actually in color, Get it back to full screen. When you see this page actually in color, it's gorgeous page. And again, you can say like there's not much there, right? And there isn't. There really isn't. But as an artist, and if you know what my channel is about, I'm appreciating the art that is comic books. So I like stuff like this. And I'm sorry if it's a little bit boring to somebody out there that's watching this video and they're like, what the fuck is this dude talking about? Well, this is it, So something like that to me is so well done. Pencils and everything. Just to go from that to that's the beauty in comics, right? That's the beauty of collaborating with other people, or if you're the penciler and the inker and the colors and you're just doing it yourself. It's a vision that starts at one spot and goes all the way through, and just beautiful. All right, yeah. I mean, we got to look at this page, right? That's just such a well-drawn, sexy shot, and the colors. Here's the thing I love about the pencils. I'm almost going to say I like this in pencil form more than I do the colors. Not that it's bad, because it's great. I mean, look at that. How can you not like that? But the pencil form, there's a more like an elegance to it. Let's take a look. You can see a little bit more rendering that's been done in the hair to really bring the hair out. It's a little bit more shadows thrown in different places. The hand looks a little different. Maybe it's just because it's colored. And it's almost like, well, yeah. So, I mean, there's some things that are definitely added for the better, and some things that maybe I mean, the hair is the biggest thing. And that's actually really detailed hair. It's really detailed hair, but, an inker's going to go in, he's going to add a couple more lines, and he's going to bring out some strands and stuff, which an inker should do. An artist shouldn't have to spend all the time drawing all the hair. And, there's some guys that draw very detailed hair out there, like David Finch. And there are other guys that might draw very loose hair, like Greg Capullo. But an inker's job is to go in there and make it look like that, make it look finished. So here we go. So yeah, I highly recommend this. Go get this book. Let's see if we can get to some of the Dale Keown stuff. I can't remember which one was that. But just, I mean, I love that scene. Let's see if I can find that. What page is that? Yeah, just that kind of scene, though. I love the perspective, the depth of that scene. The rendering of it is great. Where we at? There we go. Yeah, it's probably because I've been spending so much time looking at the book like this, and I've been studying this book, because this is a way to get better as a penciler, to see how you put together a book, how much detail to put into a penciled page, and how much to allow some looseness for the inker to bring it out. But this, when you look at the colors, again, they're fantastic, but the colors really darkens it, because it's a scene at night, obviously, with the darkness, so it's going to be a little bit darker. So you kind of, in my opinion, lose a little bit because the colors are so dominant. You lose a little bit of the detail. It's still awesome. I mean, it's still great. It's just such an awesome scene. I mean, character designs, the action, the layers, all in just one panel there. Yeah, I'm telling you what, I've become a big fan of Broussard's art just from looking at these pages. So, but here we go. All right, so here's Keown. I'm gonna have to get that other book here real quick if we want to jump into Keown's art. Thank you for sticking with me this long. This is probably one of my longer videos, but it's just fun. I want you guys to experience this kind of like I do, and then just see it, appreciate it like I do for what it is. So here we go. Here's Dale Keown taking over pencils, I believe. Here's a shot of that. I don't know. That might still be. That might still be Broussard. I know the cover's definitely Dale. That's definitely Keown. Yeah, that's Keown. You can tell right there. That might actually be Broussard. And that, yeah, I think that is. I don't think that's Dale. I do believe, yeah, this is Keown. Is that all they did? Was just that one scene? Let me jump back here. So yeah, this is definitely Keown. You can see he draws Jackie in a completely unique way compared to everybody else. Just different kind of hair, different kind of his jaw structures. His jaw is just a little bit different. This is just some classic Keown style of rendering. So maybe that was it. Maybe he just did those 2 pages, and we jump right back to Broussard right there. No, because then that's Keown too. That's Keown. Yep. All right, so let me jump here. Yeah, here's some more Keown for you. Oh, fuck. Back to full screen again. Here's some more Keown for you. So yeah, he definitely jumped in. He did this. This must just bounce back and forth here throughout the rest of the book, because it's just, yeah, this is Broussard. Yeah, that's for sure. That's Broussard. This is Keown. I mean, and Keown's got some very noticeable styles. This is a very Keown-like pose. His faces are all kind of, they're not the same, but he's got a way of drawing faces. Like, one of the things you can tell about Keown's art right off the bat is the faces of his characters. So there we go. All right, so we're wrapping this up. Went through all 3 of these. This is 3 issues in 1. Oh, look at that shot. That is so good. Now I gotta find that. Gotta find that shot. Let's see. What page is that on? That's a cool shot right there too. There it is. Oh man, they're so well. Yeah, again, you can see with the inker put his own flair on stuff there. From the original pencils. Let me jump in the original pencils here for a second. And you can see just, yeah. Again, that's why I love it. That's why I love it. I love comics. I love the way they're made. There's no way around it. So yeah, I highly recommend this. I think I bought this for $2 on eBay when Shelby told me about it. And it covers all 3 issues, the raw edition. It's all pencils, and it's just a great book for artists to see, how you do a book. And maybe I'll do some more videos like this, because I got a bunch of books like this. A bunch of the DC books. I got Billy Tushy's Rough Cuts I want to do at some point for the She Return of the Warrior. That is amazing, because that's more of just like breakdown and layouts, but it's just that's a really good look into how you make a comic. So yeah, so thanks for joining me, guys. Sorry about the longer video. I appreciate it. And again, if you like this video, you like this channel, please subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, hit the like button, share it with everybody. And until next time, I'll talk to you all later. Catch me on the Ott and Stuff show on Wednesdays and Fridays with my co-host Sean Ahrendt. Please subscribe to his channel also. I think it's under Sean Ahrendt. Just type that in. You should be able to find it. I'll try to drop all the links into the description box. Otherwise, I'll talk to you all later. Have a good one. Peace.